It's time to do Night of Champions 2023 predictions. I'm Luke Owen, DAD. I'm joined by the Professor Dan Layton, the Truth Dan Layton. And I'm also joined by, what's this now? Tempest, holding the Jam That Championship.
I don't like this.
Holding Pete's Jam That Championship.
Listen, Pete is a wonderful man who takes a lot of time off, including this weekend. So he needed someone trusted to carry this championship in his stead, hold this belt, and return it to him once the show is over. These predictions are made, and this belt is retained. So, I suppose an interim Jam That Champion of sorts? Tempest. I miss this thing.
Do you think you will retain it? Do you think you will give it back?
Yes.
Well, I mean, yeah.
I did well last time.
All he's got to do is just defend it against one person and get a draw.
That's the traditional way.
Yeah. But hold on, what is this? I'm getting word from WrestleTalk management.
What a fancy headpiece you've got.
Thank you. And yeah, they are also curious as to why there are 3 people on this set for predictions in a one-on-one battle, and that will be because, shock twist, you'll be defending that title in a triple threat match at Night of Champions. You'll be defending it against both myself and the Truth Dan Layton. Just
Truth
because
hurts.
LIW are trying to screw this company out of that championship. And WrestleTalk want to win that belt back.
Because we wouldn't just make our own championship, would we? Separately to, they're hogging it.
No.
Yeah, that'd be stupid.
LIW's done screwing around with things. That was 2 years ago. Get with the times, DAD.
Old Roman Reigns over there, just like not showing up for the big shows anymore.
I thought you were just here to host.
I am not. No, it is going to be a triple threat for the first time ever. A triple threat match for the Jam That Championship. I think it's for the first time ever. We might have done it.
The comments will let you know.
The comments will let me know. But yeah, the way this is going to work is we're going to do our predictions as per normal, including our Joker picks. If Tempest can either retain or get a draw against just one of us, or even if me and Dan draw, the champion will retain. So the odds are still within your favor. Quite in your favor,
yeah.
As champion. But, you don't want to upset Pete now, do you?
It is my least favorite thing in this life to do is upset Pete.
And if you want to see this title match happen in person, you can do so by clicking the link in the video description down below, because we are hosting a watch party for Night of Champions down at the Long Arm Pub and Brewery in Shoreditch. Tickets are £20 and we're going to have a lovely time. I would like to say, hey, come and join us for the live Causal Mania, but that's sold out.
Hot dog.
So but tickets are still available for you to come and watch Night of Champions with us. We're going to be going through our predictions for that show. Also, make sure you join Wrestle League, because you can compete against us if you can't make it to our Night of Champions party. Compete against us nonetheless in predictions warfare over at Wrestle League. There's a sign-up form for that in the video description down below. So this is the way that our prediction system works. You make a prediction, you get it right, you get a point. If it's a title match and you get it right, you get 2 points. However, we all each get to pick one Joker pick. We can't have the same Joker pick either, and that Joker pick will double your points. So, if you predict on a championship match, you get 4 points. But if your Joker pick is wrong, you lose those 4 points.
Do you have to do an impression of the Joker as you pick your Joker pick?
Depends on which Joker you want to do an impression of.
I'm the Joker, baby! You don't have to do an impression of the Joker as you make your Joker pick. It's important that we...
No, I want to unpack
I want to unpack. Which Joker are we going for? Well, is Caesar Romero?
It's quite a deep cut joke. Probably want to move the show along. It might take several hours and a lot of emotional therapy to explain how that came to be.
I'm willing to wait.
I'm not cutting this video, Ellis is.
No, please. By all means, please move on, please.
Yeah.
Please.
Okay. All right. Okay. We'll come back to that.
Do you want to know how I got these scars?
Oh, he's directed by Martin Scorsese now, isn't he? Cinema. Right, let us know in the comments down below what your predictions are for Night of Champions, or do it in Wrestle League. We'll kick things off, I think, with Gunther defending the Intercontinental Championship against Mustafa Ali. Champion, I will come to you first. Champion in Bucky O'Hare is.
In what?
In Bucky O'Hare is. Oh, that's a thing from my other podcast. Oh, I'm so sorry. Genuinely, we
I thought you were just sort of
we don't do rabbit ears.
having a meltdown.
We do Bucky O'Hare ears, who's like is a famous rabbit from pop culture.
Oh, I thought you were saying brackets wrong.
I've just heard you say that so many times that it just washes off of me now.
It is, yeah. It is a thing from my other podcast. that
Okay.
we do. Bucky O'Hare ears.
Right, gotcha.
But anyway, Bucky O'Hare ears champion. Who are you picking for this one?
I mean, shockingly, I think I will be going with Gunther. He
Yeah.
is the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time. He is heading towards the record of being the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time. Will he get that? I don't know. He's got a few more months to go, but if he does lose it, it won't be at Night of Champions.
I am also going to be saying Gunther on this one. I think that's a fairly safe bet.
I'm going to shock you both and say Gunther.
Yeah, okay, go. I don't think you're going to go real wild on your first championship show.
No, I can't help but pronounce it Gunther also. I know that's not correct. It's Gunther, but it's Gunther.
From Friends.
From Friends.
Yeah. Is it
I
because
think
you're
it's
also
pronounced...
bleach blonde?
Primarily, and I've got a coffee down there as well.
I think you'll find that it's pronounced Walter.
Oh, who was it that had that really mildly cold take? That was like, look, now we're all used to it. Are we all in agreement that Gunther is a better name than Walter?
I know who it was.
Was it Geary?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's had a real week.
He's had a real week of bad takes.
I mean, it's not a bad name. Like, Walter,
At best,
fine.
it's a lateral move.
it's a lateral move. That's exactly what it is.
I think it's a major downgrade.
I think it's a
Okay.
downgrade as well.
Walter's a way better name. So anyway, we're all going with Gunther on that one. It's quite clear that Matt Riddle is the next challenger. Pete even said in the office he thinks this match might not actually take place, and that Gunther lays him out or something, and it's then actually Gunther and Matt Riddle at the pay-per-view.
I mean, Ali got fobbed off quite
Massively
summarily on Raw, so
Yeah.
maybe.
Up next, we'll do for the Raw Women's Championship being defended on SmackDown. It's Bianca Belair defending against her WrestleMania opponent of Asuka. I'll go first on this one because I think this is a safe bet. It's Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair is 100% retaining this championship. There is a cat in hell's chance that Asuka is winning this belt, and you can clip this out and play it back. There is no chance in hell that Asuka is winning this match. Bianca Belair retains. Dan.
Do you know, I'm tempted to pick Asuka purely for being a contrarian and just in case, and in the hope that clip comes back to haunt you, because
You would get 2 points where I would get 0.
I would get 2. Don't try and get in my ear with this safe bet choice and try and convince me to go on my first try. But I do also agree. I think Bianca has got this one in the bag. It's just that the build has come out of nowhere, and if you were going to do it, you'd do it at WrestleMania. So I'm going to go with.
Oh, well, on that, just to push back on it slightly, you could have said the same thing about Ronda Rousey last year.
You could have, but I'm not going to. So WrestleMania, it'll be Bianca. It'll be Bianca this time. I'm saying that.
I am also going to say Bianca Belair, but I also do want to throw in the potential counterpoint here that whereas, Roman Reigns going to hit 1,000 days and all these markers that they want to hit and everything, Bianca Belair has broken the record.
She has hit hers. Yeah, that's
She
true.
has hit the record of the longest reigning Raw Women's Champion ever. So if that was the hump that they wanted to get over,
that's a good idea.
and they wanted to put the title on Asuka, but they just, it wasn't the time yet, one could assume that now would be the second best time. That being said, I do still think Bianca's going to win this match and retain her title.
My alternative take on that as well is that I generally think there aren't going to be a lot of surprises on this card. So maybe throwing one in there afterwards. How locked in are we?
We're not locked in at all.
I'm saying Asuka. I'm going with Asuka.
Going with Asuka?
Just for the sake of a little bit of spice, a little bit of variety. You never know. You might get a title change in there.
Well,
Asuka.
that's what I was just looking up and down this card, and I was like, oh, I actually don't foresee any title changes, and that's now made me question some of my thinking. Like, perhaps if, Gunther and Ali doesn't take place and it is Riddle, he's like, just put the title on Riddle. Was there? I mean, I wouldn't do that because I would be Honky Tonk Man's record if I was doing it. But yeah, this is probably the only one where you could argue the change. I just don't think it's happening.
I mean,
if anything, here's my bold prediction: Belair's champ till Mania next year.
I just think that's I don't like long title reigns in that way. I don't like them being that long, and I don't like it being a company full of them where there is no title change because everything's if you've got your women's champion, your universal champion, and your tag team champions,
and your intercontinental champion.
That one I meant the intercontinental tag team champions did change, but like they were champions for a really long time as well. If they are the champions for ages and ages and ages, it all starts to feel stale. And I wonder, with a relatively predictable card, whether they will just throw a little bit of spice in there and give Bianca something new, which is, oh, hang on, I was misted out of that championship. That's shady. I don't like that. Give the Saudi crowd something. I'm going to say Asuka. Just for that.
Okay, well, I mean, speaking of a match that could go either way, Rhea Ripley is defending the SmackDown Women's Championship from Raw against Natalya. Dan, you want to go first on this one?
Yes. I have thought long and hard about this. It's actually kept me up last night. And I sort of had a big board, loads of pictures, lots of red string, wasn't really sure what was going down. But I have decided to make the quite bold, I think, and maybe a little bit out there. Some might call me controversial for this statement. I think Rhea is going to win.
You maverick, you.
I know. I know.
This is a feud that has stemmed from Natalya did walk slowly down to the ring.
She absolutely did do that. And then she walked slowly into a promo.
Yep. And then Rhea Ripley on this week's Raw was like, let's just say Natalya. Tempest?
It'll shock you all to know that I am indeed going with Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
Because what are we doing here? I don't get what they're doing right now. I get that, like, maybe you want to save some of the bigger matches for a little bit further down the line. Like, depending on what else they do on this show, maybe you end up doing, like, Rhea and Becky at SummerSlam, because that's a big match that I don't think we've really seen too much yet. That sounds exciting, but you gotta give Rhea better challengers for these big shows. And I just don't think Natalya is one of those at this state in her career.
I think for a 3-week build post Backlash/draft, she's a good someone you can reliably put her in there and they'll have a good match in Saudi.
But we just did that with Vega.
Yeah, which I agree.
Yeah, if it was just one of them, I think fine, whatever. But the fact that it's 2 in a row after WrestleMania, where she was this mega star having one of the best matches of the whole weekend against Charlotte, it does not feel like they've capitalized on that potential momentum.
I do also think we may potentially get another one of those because the next pay-per-view we have coming up is a local, pay-per-view. It's Money in the Bank in London. They're going to chuck in a Brit, a Nikki Cross, a Tegan Knox, a Piper Niven.
And Tegan's on Thingy, isn't she? She's on SmackDown.
Tegan's on Raw now. She's been drafted.
Has she?
Yeah.
When did that happen? I mean, the draft.
Yes. I'm 90% sure she's on Raw, but even so, like,
let's check.
Please do. But let's say, I mean, Nikki Cross would be a really, really weird one because Nikki's having such a.
They were former tag team.
Yeah, I guess
that's my defense of it.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think.
Blow me down. She is. Well. Good, you look at that.
Yeah. I mean, they could pull the Sheamus thing and make Becky Lynch the challenger there because, Ireland is next door. So
in her hometown. Of London, England.
That won't be controversial at all, will it, WWE?
Nope.
But yeah, I think the problem with this one is that, Natalya is a safe pair of hands, will deliver a decent match and she has a relative amount of goodwill with the Saudi. She was the first out in this first female Saudi match there.
Is there a world in which this is a Saudi request? Like the Crown Prince just loves Natalya because she's always in Saudi matches.
She was the first in the first women's match in Saudi, and I think genuinely she probably did do an awful lot of PR and she's a very good company hand. I think she's an asset to the company in terms of she's very professional. In the ring, she always delivers something solid, if not something like 5-star. That's why that SmackDown Women's Championship run she had a few years ago was very much a thank you for all your hard work run.
A literal you deserve it.
Yeah, quite possibly. It genuinely could be that it's like, well, we trust you here and you've got this goodwill. Go ahead and do your thing. Maybe she's just massive in Saudi.
Could be.
Who knows?
Okay, so that's our 3, I'd say, predictable championship matches. Up next, this legit is my most anticipated match of the night. Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus. I am So stoked for this match. I have loved the build they've done for this. I've loved this feud. I've loved the work that Becky's doing. I love the work that Trish is doing in particular. I'm really, really looking forward to this. And I'm going to go first here. Trish is winning. I'm picking Trish on this one. Tempo?
So my thoughts on this match kind of hinge on what they do next and where this goes, because when they started this build and when they started talking about, they're going to do Becky and Trish and everything, I just assumed that it was going to be a SummerSlam match, that was going to be one of their big legend versus current star matches to help sell out this massive stadium they've got in Detroit. I think that hinges on Trish winning this match and them doing a return match at SummerSlam. I know I just said maybe they do Becky and Rhea, but they could do something else for that. Same thing, like, maybe they do that and they don't do the rematch here, in which case I would think Becky would probably win. So it really depends on what they want to do with Becky post Night of Champions that really sways me here. That being said, I'm also going to go with Trish Stratus.
I hate going third because it makes me sound like I'm just copying you guys. But my gut instinct with this was Trish, primarily because there are a lot of open threads in this story. Lita hasn't had anything to say about essentially being attacked by her best friend and screwed out of her championship. So she's not had an opportunity to come back in any way to fight. And she may do at Night of Champions. It may be a surprise run-in, and that will be a nice way to neaten up the story. But I don't see it. I think that you have an opportunity to do something you have. I mean, already having a legend be a heel, a Hall of Famer be a heel, is already something kind of fresh. You have an opportunity.
Say it correctly, Dan.
What?
WWE Hall
of Famer Trish Stratus as a heel is it's kind of fresh. It's kind of exciting. I've enjoyed what she's been doing. You probably could. It depends on and this was planned to be a relatively long run anyway. I remember the stories when it first happened. She got drafted. So I'm wondering whether they do stretch it out and whether we have, like, let's say a Lita Trish match at SummerSlam. It doesn't have to be Becky. I'm going to say Trish as well.
Can I throw a spanner in the works?
Go on.
Just to poo-poo on some of the things that we've said here. We're all saying, yeah, Trish wins, so you can extend out the program. May I remind you that Cody beat Brock, and we're still doing the rematch here.
Listen, don't try and throw logic my way to try and influence my thought process.
Yeah.
There's legit every chance Becky just wins here. We just still do the return match at SummerSlam.
That's true. That's true. I don't see it. I think it would be a...
Particularly
I
because...
do see it.
Well, my bold
just thought about it.
My bold prediction was, I think Lita is going to turn heel. And she's going to help Trish win. And then you go on you have Lita and Trish. If Lita sticks around, that is.
I thought that too. It's just, it's not impossible it's just a lot of effort. I'm thinking, I'm Lita. Do you want to fly all the way to Saudi for a quick run-in? I don't know.
They've flown 50 people out there for a battle royal that they've been in for 20 seconds.
But that was the greatest Royal Rumble.
No. I'm talking about a 51-man battle royal. Yes.
Yeah. I forgot about that one.
I was about to say, we watched that greatest Royal Rumble. It was not the greatest Royal Rumble I've ever seen.
I mean, yeah, that's true. That's true.
Oh, do you know what? I might change my mind.
He's talked himself out of it.
I don't want to change my mind, but it is a good... There is a good...
I'm saying Becky. I changed my mind. I'm going Becky.
I'm sticking with Trish.
I'm going Becky. Well, speaking of, I think this could go either way. In the Battle of Adversity, it's Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar. Cody won the match at Backlash. Brock showed up, beat his ass, and then has subsequently beaten his ass a couple more times. And we are getting a match now. Cody Rhodes going into this match with a broken arm. Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar. Tempest?
I have also had a difficult time trying to pin down what I think is going to happen in this match. Because, like you said, I wouldn't have thought that Brock would lose the first time.
Well, I predicted that he wouldn't, so I thought Brock was going to win.
I thought Brock was going to win that match. So anything can happen. And likewise, even if Cody wins this match, they can run it back again. But I think Brock is going to win this match, and they'll have a rubber match at SummerSlam. Cody might finally get his big, like, actual triumphant win. Snuck a win in the first match. I can't imagine broken arm Cody Rhodes is going to win this second match and then go in and maybe have that, like, I don't know, have it be a street fight or something, have it be this, like, knockdown, drag out brawl, and have Cody win at SummerSlam. But I think that means he loses here.
Okay.
I have a theory.
Well, let's have your Austin theory first.
I think Cody will win, and because they love a little swerve, I'm looking ahead to Money in the Bank, and I'm thinking Cody's in the Money in the Bank match, and we all want it, and it's like, okay, well, this is his opportunity to get it and be the ultimate babyface and cash in ahead of time and say, I want that title, Roman, I'm coming for you at SummerSlam. But while he's climbing the ladder with his broken freaking arm, Brock comes down and has a go at him, and it's like, if you want to get nuclear, it possibly is go away heat, but nuclear heat from London, Cody Rhodes potentially winning Money in the Bank with a broken freaking arm and then not getting it because Brock Lesnar's come down and bashed him in the face, is a way of doing it, and then you get your big SummerSlam match. So I think Cody's winning.
I'm also going with Cody here, and I think the finish is going to be the exact same finish at Backlash. Brock has the Kimura in, Cody rolls him up and wins.
I think were Night of Champions not happening, then Cody would have had a different match at Night of Champions and Brock wouldn't have been there.
Then I think Brock attacks him at Money in the Bank and you set up the rematch for SummerSlam. And I thought they might do it here, but I was clearly wrong on that one. I think there's going to be a big stip on the third match. So like doing it in Fight Pit, doing it in like Brock's stip because it's like, it's an MMA. Not really.
It's a vaguely MMA thing.
It's a vaguely.
Yeah.
It's MMA adjacent.
Yeah.
Because they can't do the Lion's Den anymore. So yeah, I think you build to the SummerSlam match, and I think Cody wins here. They're almost throwing too much adversity on him here. It's Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes lives off adversity.
My concern is, well, it's not a concern. It's bearing fruit. Is that if you are pushing for the rematch at WrestleMania 40, that is essentially writing off this entire year already. And I still have that hope that we get it at SummerSlam, because they have been trying to build SummerSlam as an equal to WrestleMania kind of event, shipping it out to various different places, theming the event around the places. So I am hoping beyond hope that this is sort of it, and we get the big sort of Money in the Bank SummerSlam 1-2 punch for Cody, but I'm not sure, and I think Cody wins and then gets taken out of Money in the Bank.
Yeah, I totally get what you mean, but I think I could see them for SummerSlam doing Roman Bobby.
Yeah,
and
what an anticlimax that would be
on this event as well. They're pushing hard this triple main event at Backlash. It was a double main event. I think they'll do the same thing at SummerSlam, another big triple main event with Roman and Bobby, Cody and Brock, and Seth versus, let's just say Natalya. But something along those lines. They will have a big main event.
I would like to see it.
So let's get into, speaking of Seth Rollins, it is the finals for the inaugural World Heavyweight Championship, not connected to the old one. Seth freaking Rollins versus AJ Styles. So, on paper, this would seem to be an obvious choice because it is a Raw exclusive world title, and there is only one person in this match that is exclusive to Raw, whereas the other person is exclusive to SmackDown.
That's a very nice piece of paper you've got there, quite nicely letterheaded. It unfortunately is worthless because so is the draft.
Oh yeah, I mean...
Raw opened with SmackDown star Paul Heyman this week.
Well, I know. Dan, what say you?
So the question mark on this is there was reports of Seth Rollins maybe going off and doing. He's in Captain America 4. Captain America 4. So there's some question marks.
New world order.
That was lovely and vivid. There's some question marks over whether he's going to be there, and the irony of this being the workhorse I'm always here title going on someone who may not always be there. AJ Styles is not going away unless AJ gets injured. So there is a strong argument for it being AJ Styles. I think that would be so stupid. So I'm going with Seth because just logic suggests this title should go on Raw. Again, logic is a dirty word in WWE, but I just don't see how this title goes anywhere but around Seth's waist.
I think, like, sure, Seth has had to miss a Raw or two at this point. I mean, I can't imagine his role in Captain America is going to be that big.
Oh, he's going to work on Saturday.
He's going to do some stuff for sure, but, like, you know, I'm thinking he gets, like, the GSP role from Winter Soldier where he's, like, you know, he's in the movie, he's got a few scenes, and then that's probably it. So I can't imagine that they would pull the trigger on not putting the belt on him for the fear that, well, he might miss another Raw. You know, I do think that may have been a little overblown and just like, you know, it's been a Twitter topic of sowing dissension and, you know, creating intrigue and such. I think Seth still gets the belt for all the reasons you said. I don't see the point of putting the Raw belt on a SmackDown guy. But I don't see the point of having the Raw women's belt on SmackDown either. So anything is possible, but I say Seth wins.
Sorry, I interrupted you there. They did even say in the Seth promo this week on Raw, they had a clip of AJ Styles being like, "This guy's the future." So you know, it's all there's
they are telegraphing that it is Seth, right? Like my favorite thing from that, we talked about this on the Raw podcast yesterday, was Seth Rollins in that video package being like, "Look, the reason why I need to win this belt is because I've never been the handpicked guy to," and I was like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
And then showed loads of clips of him holding every title in WWE because he has always been the hand.
That was his whole storyline in 2015.
Yeah.
He was literally handpicked by the Authority.
But I wonder if they're going to just swerve us.
I think
There's always that chance.
Always that chance. Vince is back.
This was
right?
this was my thing with Night of Champions last, or not Night of Champions last year, whatever the Saudi show, Crown Jewel it was. I was always like, yeah, they could put it on Logan Paul. There's always that 1% chance. And then at WrestleMania, there was always the 1% chance that Roman retained, and it turned out that was the 1% chance. This company, it's possible. Go on.
I'm going AJ.
Oh, he's done it. We peer pressured him.
I'm going AJ. Brings us to our main event. It's one of the 3 main events on this card.
And can I just take this opportunity to say that if you do 3 main events, that means there is no main event.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Well, this is why we're doing a triple threat match.
There you go.
It's a triple
one
main
each.
event.
Yeah.
It is Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn defending the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships against the Bloodline of Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa. Should be noted as well, WWE.com did update their roster page to say that Roman is undisputed champion. He is just one title holder. Even though he's got 2 belts, he is one title holder. And Owens and Zayn are also one title holder. They are not the Raw and SmackDown Tag Team Champions.
Interesting.
They're the undisputed Tag Team Champions.
Okay.
Just thought it was an interesting little bit of note.
Especially because undisputed, in the case of Roman, is a ticking clock. At the end of Night of Champions, he will be disputed. Because there's another World Championship. So
I see what you're saying.
he can't possibly be undisputed, you know?
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, it does kind of defeat the purpose of the word.
The word undisputed means there is no dispute as to who is the top dog.
Oh,
If there are
yeah.
2 World Championships, you inherently have a dispute. And in fact, the reason that he became we had the undisputed champion in 2002 is because WWE bought WCW and they combined the WCW championship and the WWE championship into one undisputed championship. That's what that word means.
Ellis, editing this, if you can just slice in that clip from Peep Show where Mark says, "You'll say anything, won't you? Words mean nothing."
You'll say anything, won't you? Words don't mean a thing to you, do they?
Because words do mean nothing in WWE. Because he still will be called the undisputed world champion, I guess. Right, okay, so we went to you.
I came second in the last one.
What a gentleman.
Yeah, do you want to go first?
Sure. I think that Sami and Kevin are going to retain these titles. I mean, their reign has not really lit the world on fire. They've been fine, but this whole Bloodline thing has, you know, it is what it is. I think they hold on to these titles. I would like to think that maybe after this, they go their separate ways from the Bloodline. Like, this could be maybe, okay, I'm imagining a worldview here, where they could do a deal where Roman gets pinned in this match. He's the one that takes the fall, and he gets pinned by Sami Zayn. And that's kind of like the big, like Sami Zayn kind of gets his moment to take down Roman that he never got at Elimination Chamber.
What a venue for that. Christ.
And 3 months too late.
Yeah.
Maybe they then build to another Sami versus Roman match at Money in the Bank.
The draft doesn't matter.
Because the draft, well, it doesn't.
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
Because I'm trying to think of like who Roman faces at Money in the Bank since they've like announced him for the show or whatnot. And no one especially comes to mind. So why not have some momentum built for that? At the same time, I don't think this match matters too much. Like maybe it'll help fuel the bloodline split that is happening before our eyes. But in every world, I would like to see Sami and Kevin hold on to these belts a little longer, at least until it gets interesting.
If I was a betting man, I know I said earlier Roman Bobby, but I think I kind of missed a more obvious one, which is Roman J as your SummerSlam World Title match.
Are they going to get there though? That's
that's the
2
question.
months away.
I think you can get there, and I think you get there through this match, which I think it is the Usos are going to cost Roman and Solo the belts. They're going to try and interfere. They're going to try and help, and it's going to backfire them. And that is how Sami and Kevin retain. I'm going with Sami and Kevin retaining here, and I'm going on that for the basis of I think they're going to do more split with the Bloodline stuff, so they do need to lose here. Them winning the tag titles does not help that story whatsoever. But B, the second that Roman dedicated this match to Afra and Sika, I was like, yeah, buddy, you ain't winning those belts. Ain't no way you're winning those belts because that is good. Because Roman's whole point was like, you dedicated the title match to me, and then you didn't win. So he is now dedicated to the title match. He ain't winning either. That is also going to be part of the split of the bloodline. I think there might be something with Solo here. Solo is pissed or something along those lines. You could build that. And I wonder if you could do Roman and Bobby then at Money in the Bank. I think Bobby feels like he's been, actually, do you know what? What am I saying? Of course Bobby's going to be feuding with Austin Theory. That's all he ever does.
I'm so glad they're not on Raw anymore. I'm so sorry.
Give me my Walter back.
I keep trying to put Bobby in matches, then I'm like, no, of course, Austin Theory. He's busy with that. So I'm going with Kevin and Sami here to retain. And I think I don't think Roman's taking the pin. I think Solo is taking the pin. I don't think Roman ain't taking no pin until he loses those belts.
I'm going to be spicy. I think Roman and Solo are going to take the titles. Wow. I'm being spicy on my first predictions podcast because all of this logic makes sense, right?
Sure does.
All of this is I like the idea of it being Jay and Roman at SummerSlam. In fact, that's quite fun. When I did my little fantasy booking, I actually kept.
Oh, Dan, you did a fancy booking.
Yeah, look, it was brilliant, Luke. It's better than the stuff that we're watching weekly. You should read it. When I had my fun, it was the first time I've ever done it. That's why I'm so. It turns out fantasy booking's fun. Who knew? I kind of had. I had the title separated, and ultimately the Usos took it off Sami and Kevin, and I worked towards a Roman J match at WrestleMania because I took the title off Roman at SummerSlam. But I think here, the idea being you couldn't get the job done at WrestleMania, you couldn't get the job done in your rematch. I am going to get that job done, be the dominant force, but I've got Solo who's going to do the work for me because Solo is the one who's kind of like teetering on the edge of turning on he's the sort of the loose cannon. He's gonna first chance he gets, he's gonna knock the ever living crap out of the Usos. I see the idea of them taking the titles and then the match at Money in the Bank is a tag team title match. It's Roman and Solo versus the Usos. Ooh. That's because I don't see any of the Usos being in the Money in the Bank match. So I'm like, why are they there? What are they going to do? They can't do nothing. So I see it being that as your title match. Keep them busy with each other. So yeah, I think it's going to be a Roman, and Roman is like Roman 56 belts at this point. But I also think, and again, not dissimilar to earlier on, you get the nuclear heat of Brock Lesnar taking out Cody at Money in the Bank. Kind of massive heat on. Imagine the reaction. The Saudi crowd only get like 2 shows a year, and they're generally speaking, the members of the public, not the ones sat on the lawn chairs, but the members of the public at the Saudi shows are pretty in for it. So you get quite a big reaction from Roman winning those belts, and you get that amazing visual of him being in this, grand, opulent stadium with all the fireworks because they've spent £1 million on it, holding up every single championship. That Triple H, you remember the Triple H meme of him holding even the Divas title and all that stuff? You have that, but it's a real visual. I think that'd be kind of interesting. And Solo, they have protected, in a way that they don't protect stars really anymore.
Yeah.
They've protected Solo. And I think Solo is a machine. He's like an absolute truck. He's a tank. I can kind of see it happening. So I'm going to be a little bit spicy, and I'm going to say Solo and Roman.
Here's the only thing I would say I would to go against you, Dan. I think the SummerSlam match is Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus DIY.
Why?
Because I think Triple H wants to do that.
I mean, I'd love to see it.
Yeah, I think he's bringing back DIY for a reason.
Right.
And the reason is belts. Well, belt match anyway.
Well, he could take it off the Usos.
He could do it on TV.
Yeah.
Look, but again, that is just also me just wildly speculating that it could be DIY. I don't know that it is.
I'm not saying
it could be Gargano and Loomis for all I know.
Imagine if in the lead up to SummerSlam, Jay costs Roman the titles and it's one title down. I'm going to take the other one off you. Give him that little momentum. Doesn't. WrestleMania 40. Cody goes for it again. Doesn't win.
Well, okay, let's go through our Joker picks then. Champion's advantage, you get to pick your Joker first.
Rhea Ripley.
Yep, that's a smart choice. Dan, this is your first time.
I'm going to say Gunther.
Oh, you're not going to pick the bloodline. You're not going to go. You're going to double down.
No. It's just I like spice, but I'm not going extra hot. Lemon and herb. We'll stick there. I'm going to say Gunther because it's nailed on. At least I'll come away with 4 points.
Man, it'd be so funny if I put it on AJ.
Do it.
I mean, I'm not putting it on Bianca.
That makes sense.
But I'm going to put it on Bianca Belair. I feel like that's my safest option of the three.
I would agree.
Yeah. I mean, I was tempted to put it on Asuka because I picked Asuka.
I'll just put it on AJ because it'd be very fun.
Well, this is it. The reason I didn't want to put it on my big bold prediction for the main event, one of the 3 main events, was because I was like, who bloody knows at this point? Whereas there's one where I'm like,
that's
Gunther's
a
taking
surefire
it.
thing, yeah.
And I'd like to I don't want to come away from here with 0 points. So,
I've done that before.
Yeah, not my first go.
Come on, Luke. You got to have confidence. You did so well at the last watch party.
You had the moment of the night at the last watch party.
I'll always have my however pop.
And I'll always have my and still.
Your and still?
Yes.
Well, he had an.
Oh, that night.
Then.
Oh, I thought you meant this.
Come
time
on,
you're gonna
Dan.
have. I thought you were promoing for the Night of Champions.
No, I'm sticking.
This isn't yours right now.
I'm sticking with Bianca. Don't bully me. I'm sticking with Bianca. Right, well, find out what happens when we are going to be streaming our live reactions to Night of Champions this coming Saturday. But if you want to come and watch them in person, why not join us for our watch party at the Long Arm Pub and Brewery in Shoreditch. Tickets available in the link in the video description down below. Also, make sure you sign up for Wrestle League as well and leave a comment down below letting us know what you think is going to happen at Night of Champions, as well as our predictions. Until then, I've been Luke Owen, DAD. That has been the Professor Dan Layton, the truth. And that has been your Jam That Champion Tempest.
Bucky O'Hare is.
Jam that jam.